Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Today is actually a little bit different reading. As I promised the last time I was here, that I'm gonna do a forecast for the week, and that's what I'm gonna do. And by the way, happy equinox weekend. It's been pretty intense, but in a wonderful way. Hope you are enjoying it, you're discovering something new for your own story, your own journey. And today we're gonna see what awaits us for the upcoming week. And of course, we'll get some advice. But basically, this will be the energies, 3D, 5D, 3D, and then the additional question is gonna be what do we need to pay attention to? You know, that's basically what that additional question is in my readings, right? So we'll see what kind of topic is gonna be hot this week and what it means for each of the twins. And of course, the guidance I'm gonna get from the oracle cards. Today is the Beyond Lemuria deck. I will pull them at the end, so that's a little bit of a change. And we'll do messages between the twins, why not? It's a Sunday, so let's do a longer read, but let's find out more. I'm gonna use the Dreaming Way Tarot and the Light Seers Tarot for the main read. So there will be one card from each. And so we'll need 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 cards. There you go. Doing my math with you. Oh gosh, I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you are excited about what is to come, about the upcoming eclipse season, right? Because that's in October, and that's weeks away. That's very soon. The Empress at the bottom of the deck. I love this. So yeah, that's that creative time, potent time to bring in something new, maybe to try something that you've been thinking about but never actually got to it. Right now is the time to give it a shot, to go for it, to check it out, or at the very least to get more information on how to do it, how to get there, right? So that I don't know, if tomorrow you wake up and it'll be, yeah, I'm doing it. It's not gonna be like a remote plan anymore. You'll know exactly what is that step you're supposed to take. That's why sometimes it's very important to do the research and to prepare and to understand which steps exactly you're supposed to take for that particular goal, that particular task. Okay, we'll get some clarifiers. Bottom of the deck here, Three of Pentacles. Collaboration, yeah, might be a good idea. So don't feel like you have to do all of your projects alone, or you have to figure it out alone. Nobody said that. Bring in somebody who has good knowledge about the topic that you're studying, right? Or you can contact them, ask them questions, you know, whatever you feel is relevant. But don't try to white knuckle it yourself, right? If you know what to do, but you get weird feelings, you get stressed, you get anxiety, then talk to someone who can help you with that, you know? Even if it's a friend or family member, somebody you trust and who can, you know, who can ground you. And yeah, last but not least, don't forget that you have your guides to help you out. Just ask the question and ask for help, and they'll be there. There are lots of energies that want to help you, so why not ask? Okay, so for the feminines, the energies this week. So this is a forecast of what we are going to be dealing with the upcoming week. This is for those who are watching this out of the timeline. This is end of September 2023, but if you're watching it, these are all timeless messages. So if you're watching it, you got to it at a very different time. It means there is something here that's relevant to you exactly when you are watching it. We have King of Wands clarified by Page of Wands. Very interesting energy, right? Because the King is like the master. It's like, I've learned everything that I was supposed to, and I'm hearing this about the twin flame journey. So you may have that feeling once or maybe more than once during this week that you are the master of the twin flame journey. You've done it, you've got it. Like, you know, you're just flying, you're floating in it, right? There will be some experience that will show you that there's more to learn. And not like the details, not like, yeah, I haven't done that yet, so I'm gonna figure it out when I get there. No, it's something foundational that you will be dealing with So this is the 5D space, right? So this is energy flow, right? And I was just getting some downloads yesterday and today about how this works in various scenarios. And unfortunately, a lot of people still treat different kinds of energy exchange as completely different topics, right? And in the meantime, the way we exchange, the way we interact with people, with objects of interest, with our goals, with certain activities, with certain events, it works with following the same energy principles, energy exchange principles. So if you figure out your connection dynamic with your twin flame, it's going to be a lot easier for you to have a good relationship with money, or have a good relationship with being in the public eye and public recognition, or having a good relationship, I don't know, with maybe technology that you were always afraid to learn, or whatever, right? Like, or with a specific event, I don't know, the death of a close person or something. It works following the same principles. Yes, it will have a little bit different flavors to it, but largely it's the same, right? And there will be something fundamental that the feminines will see this week that will tell them that, yeah, that's the next important topic to learn. And it's foundational, it's core, it's key. So don't try to do too many things in 3D and rush to your next goal before you tackle this topic. Because that's what you need. That's the ingredient you need to get to those 3D goals. I'm not saying 3D like a demeaning word, because a lot of times that's how we see it. I just mean that it's something in the physical, we always have plans in the physical. We are going somewhere in the physical in our life. It's a normal part of existence on this planet. For masculines, we have the Magician clarified by 9 of Swords. So again, the topic of manifestation, right? A little bit different aspect to it, because the masculines, this is a major arcana. The masculines are getting information how to bring in their happiness, what they're supposed to do. But guess what? There's so much anxiety on the back of their head. Like this is also energy space, right? In their personal energy, there's so much anxiety that this energy gets like muddied with that, right? And at the very least, it gets them a blockage, when you freeze, when you're in a stressful situation and you freeze. That's what I'm getting here, that they have the knowledge, but there is this fear of acting on it. And this is a collective reading, so will be different scenarios for different people. Take it how it resonates for your DM. If you don't know, at least know that if you see lack of action, whether it's toward you or generally what they would be doing, their activity, it's because there is this freeze moment where they like this knowledge of manifestation needs to sink in. They want this to, they understand that it's important, but they're not ready to actually go out and act on it, right? There needs to be a bit of a time to integrate that energy. 3D space for the feminines, I love this. Queen of Wands clarified by 6 of Wands. Very 1D energy for the feminine. This is like that fire that's burning, there's this excitement, right? And this is another variation of that creatress, for wise woman, of a woman with sacred knowledge, right? It was like in this deck, this would be like this shamanic woman, right? And there is 6 of Wands. So this is the desire and readiness to go into the public. I was just talking about it, right? To finally show up in this new energy that you've been working on, that you've been nurturing, that you've been preparing. Now it's time for action. This week is going to be very fruitful and fertile for new projects, new activities, or going back to the activities that you maybe paused for a while, right? And now you can resume them with new, revived enthusiasm and motivation and vision, where you get new, like it might look like a similar thing to the untrained eye, but deep down you know that you're doing it on a completely different level now, and you put in a different meaning to it. For masculines, it's Page of Cups clarified by 7 of Cups, and for masculines, lots of cups and like confused energy, like Aw. But you know what's good about this is I noticed like the colors, the blue colors, you notice in both cards, right? So the heart chakra might be the throat chakra might be suffering from all this confusion and indecisiveness, right? I mentioned the energy, and this is what that energy looks like in the physical, right? This is the 3D space where they're like overthinking and considering, shouldn't I? Because emotions are getting in the way, because that anxiety is getting in the way, but it's impacting them on a deeper level, right? And if you don't feel good about where you are, or that's something that you're supposed to do, then there is a hesitance, like maybe I shouldn't do it. There is a lot of that. What I like though is with this card in this deck, the page is trying to fill up their cup, right? So the masculines understand that they need to cook that a little bit more before they're ready to serve it, right? So they're like taking their time to like, okay, I need to sit more with this energy before I understand what it means and how to use it in my life in the positive way. Additional question, very interesting. Death clarified by 4 of Pentacles. So twin flames are transforming and getting upgrades, right? Especially when it comes to when to be open and when to protect the energy or the resources, right? It's one of the fundamental topics, again, in interaction with any kind of energy, outside energy, right? It's that balance where we're supposed to keep our heart open and be open-minded and all that open stuff, right? To be able to communicate clearly, to get the message across in a pure way, to also be able to share that loving, kind, compassionate energy. But at the same time, sometimes it's important to know just when to kind of put a protection around yourself, right? Or not to give too much. That's another side of it, right? Because 4 of Pentacles is like being closed off, or keeping resources to yourself, like not wanting to share, being like holding on to what you have. And a lot of times it's perceived as a negative thing. But you know what? Sometimes that's exactly what you need to do, whether it's energy or resources. Because otherwise people will take advantage of you. Or you're going to drain yourself of your resources, and then you'll have nothing to work with. So what do the feminines need to know about this for this week? Oh, and we got that Queen of Wands energy. That's the card I was mentioning in this deck. Beautiful. 3 of Cups clarified by Queen of Wands. And in this deck, the 3 of Cups, I'm always seeing this as the connection with ancestors. It's like that circle of negotiation, like almost like the round circles, a round table, like with the elders, where they're helping with their wisdom. So yeah, basically, and this is the spiritual fire, right? Like the spirituality about it. So it's very important when understanding this kind of like energy dynamic and flow. You can always, and I was talking about it at the beginning, you can always ask your ancestors or somebody who's close to you. It can literally be family, or it can be somebody who is like family to you. Ask them for support on that, or for their opinion, or just to be there for you, right? But the elders specifically will have the knowledge of previous generations, right? Or they'll also hold the knowledge of your family line, of your lineage, right? And what was that relationship was holding back versus being open, right? Where was the extreme? Did they hold back too much and there was a feeling of scarcity, or did they give out too much and didn't leave much for themselves and for their family, right? Like those stories are very important, because we are living through those a lot, right? And a lot of times we don't even think about it too much. We don't feel it that way. And we're nagging on ourselves a lot of times with this kind of questions, like, yeah, it's me, I have to change, like it's my problem, right? But a lot of times it can be generational karma that you're just living through, because there is always a hope for new generation to do better, or to heal it, to get it into a better space. For masculines, we have 9 of Pentacles clarified by 10 of Wands. Yeah, so speaking of holding that energy and knowing the balance, the masculines kind of understand what the template is supposed to be, where they will be independent, but also like they will have in like, what's it called, serenity, right? But they can also relate to other people. They can be of help, they can be inspiring, right? Like that balance. The only thing is that they're seeing this as coming out of some painful experience, or some painful experience is coming up that will teach this lesson, right? So there is again a little bit of that muddied energy where more time needs to pass, more healing needs to be done, so it's actually flourishing in you, so it's natural, so it just happens, so you just know, right? You can just intuitively guide your energy towards being more open or more in a more protective state. Okay, last but not least, let's get, oh no, actually the advice. What should I do first? Yeah, let's get the advice first. Advice for this week for the feminines on the spiritual work, in the twin flame journey, on the light work. What's the advice for the feminines watching? Journey to wholeness. Oh, I love this. Number 33. It's the master number. The number of the blueprint of figuring out what is it that you're exactly supposed to do. I'm not going to read the whole article, but the keywords here are self-acceptance, wholeness, unconditional love, soul fragments returning, accepting others as they are, staying energetically present, accepting all parts of self, healing internal disease. That's that Queen of Wands energy just screaming at us here. This card is about loving yourself and others from a sense of wholeness, exactly as you are right now. It is only from this space that healing can take place. We may find ourselves in relationships or scenarios where we can see great potential. We may have concepts of others that are not really who they are due to subconscious projections or ideals. We could have the idea that we will feel better about ourselves when we achieve a goal or status, that success will somehow make everything better. Unfortunately, this takes us out of the present and makes our love somewhat conditional. To be a healer, transcend the perspective that the being in front of you needs to be fixed. Hold the vision that they are perfect as they are. From this place, they can heal themselves through the transformative power of acceptance. Acknowledge the full spectrum of a picture and bring any fractured parts back to the present moment. In this place, we are whole, and thus have the power to step into the brightest version of ourselves. So this is more twin flame related than I thought, actually. But remember that this is possible when you are in this wholeness energy. So get yourself into that space, and that's when you'll be able to see your twin flame counterpart that way. For masculine's advice, please. Home. Oh, I love this. Look at this beautiful picture. And again, the blue energy of the throat chakra. Ooh, okay, let's see. Heart-based presence, grounding, finding home within yourself, wherever you are. The body as a temple for the soul, travel, finding family wherever you go, occupying yourself, connecting to your unwavering infinite depths and the collective oneness. This card invites you to align with your temple space. Consider all the amazing things your body does and how you effortlessly move through reality. Become aware of the many gifts that come from a deep sense of truly occupying yourself. Often very intuitive souls exist within the upper chakras and may struggle with the density of your humaning. You may not feel like you are from here, but as though you are more accustomed to navigating a world with different parameters. At this time on earth, it is a blessing to have the vessel of a body. It is an opportunity to make a difference, to celebrate it. So celebrate it. You have dreams and visions and may yearn to float around in more etheric realms, but it is when we're fully grounded and present in our bodies that we can actualize these ideas and make a difference. Be grounded, find your home. It's just like a tree, the deeper our roots, the higher we can reach into heavens. Beautiful energy, love it. Okay, and last but not least, let's get the messages. Not gonna do too much interpretation here. First, we'll get DMs to DFs. And if you have specific questions you'd like me to cover in any of the readings, please let me know in the comments. Oops. Oh, that could have turned out wrong. Okay. Whew. You have so many choices and options. I meant what I said. I just wish things were different. Look at this 5, 6, 7. Maybe. I wish things were different, maybe. That's that path to acceptance actually for the masculines. Because they are starting to accept that actually they are exactly where they're supposed to be. And there are no shortcuts. And no steps could be missed at this time. It has to be in that sequence. Or not necessarily in that sequence, but there are certain things that need to happen first before we get to that. Something that seemingly is a good stuff for us, right? But also they're thinking about what they said recently, or maybe your last conversation or messages you exchange, or like some kind of information that you learned about them, feminines, right? And they are reconsidering, like, was it bad? Like, did I say something wrong? They're getting to the point where they also accept that they actually meant it. Even if it doesn't seem right now, at that time, they actually meant it and it was true. And it's important for them to accept that, so good for you masculines. Now from feminines to masculines. But there is that anxiety is creeping in with that card. You have so many choices and options. I feel like they're running out of time, or they will not be able to catch up, or whatever. Like they have karmic stuff that just keeps delaying them, something along those lines. Okay. Feminines, do you even see me that way? Yeah, that's lack of communication and clarity. I have so much desire for you. That's the Ace of Wands card. And reach out. Yeah, so feminines are basically saying it's been a while. I don't really know where we are right now. I am missing you, and I wish we could do better with our communication. It's not that hard, you know? We just need to show up for each other. Is it like, and it's gonna serve the both of us, right? It's gonna make a difference. It's gonna energize us. So why not? It's a proposition to a conversation. Oof, okay, I think I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon.